Good evening and welcome to the Middle Creek Coaches Show. This is a sports block live from Ruckus Pizza in Cary. I am Ryan Magnuson. I am joined by my esteemed colleague Ryan Grover and head coach for the Mustangs, Mike Castellano. So the Mustangs are coming off a 28-14 win over Fuquay in the final game of the regular season. That brings the record to 9-2 overall with an undefeated 7-0 conference record. That gives us the conference championship, right?
Yes, we're happy we could finish it off undefeated. That was one of our goals going in, was try to win each conference game one at a time and claim a second consecutive one. And for our seniors, they're 15-0 in conference the last 2 years combined. And also, the chubby guy next to me wearing a Santa hat. It's great to see Santa here tonight.
Hey, Santa.
I had to fill in for somebody.
A jolly, jiggly guy, so you fit the role well. But no, we are excited to get that conference championship.
Yeah, so we talked a little bit before the show about how kind of weird this game was. So let's go ahead and jump into some of these highlights and check them out.
Okay, the first highlight we're going to see here, this is a fake field goal that we've worked. Before the play, we actually shift two guys left. As the play will begin, you'll see them start to drag across the field, and our tight end on the right-hand side comes across the formation. Isaiah Herring, who's the normal holder, becomes the quarterback, rolls out right, and throws it back. You can see here from this angle on the left-hand side of the screen, the number 2 guy you can see is the tight end, and you'll see him actually drag across the formation, appear there late. And when Isaiah gets a little, or it could be a bigger play, but we've practiced that play for months. It's one that Coach Wilkes did like every good coach did and stole from another team somewhere a couple of years ago. We won't say the name of the team, but they're a pretty good one. The second highlight we're going to see, it's going to be the same play here. And you can kind of see again how much depth Isaiah gets, and that's what we've kind of coached him on to make sure protection is there. Got to click down. You can see how excited our sideline is. That was a big play there on the 4th down for us to be able to convert that in a situation where we can get a score to actually put us ahead. But we'll click down to the next play. Okay, that's the special teams play we watched there. As we get ready to watch this next play, as we talked about, we want to be great on special teams, and we got a look here that we liked, and we go up 21-14. Get ready to kick off. We onside kick here, and this is pretty phenomenal. Theo McKinnon actually gets the ball. Brandon Tan goes in, takes it from him to ensure that we actually have the ball. The official calls it the wrong way, at which point another official taps him on the back, to which he throws a flag thinking it's one of our players, to which they pick the flag up, turn around and give us the football. A couple plays later, we go down and score, make it a 28-14 game. But obviously you want to be great on special teams, and if I'm correct, this is the 5th one we've converted in the last 4 games on recovering onside kicks to give ourselves an advantage. The next play, after we watch the tight copy here, you can kind of see what we're seeing from up top in the press box on the sideline. Obviously, the screen is going to be kicked to the left. And we get it there, and our guys do a good job fighting for the football. It was obviously a good kick by Mike Rubino. The next play here, they're going to try to actually pass the ball. They don't do a lot of that, but Terry Patterson gets pressure on the quarterback, makes him flush out of the pocket. One of our safeties, a sophomore, Isaiah Herring, actually gets credit with a sack. And you can see from this angle, Terry's on the right-hand side, gets pressure, makes an athletic guy move out of the pocket, and Isaiah does a good job to make him work flat to the sideline to get a sack for us, and that was a big stop in that situation. Okay, the next play here, we're not going to mention somebody's name who usually comes to the show who didn't have a great block here, Bobby, but gets a little pressure inside right here, and Brant does a good job of stepping up and under pressure completing a pass is one thing Coach Williams, our quarterback coach, works on right there, throwing under pressure, and Curtis makes a good catch in a lot of traffic there, and I like to pick on Bobby. Bobby's a freshman, does a heck of a job, and this is a play right here in a big pressure situation where he doesn't get enough of the guy, like a little more protection, but he does a great job playing and play out for us. So we don't treat him like he's a freshman anymore, so we can pick on him a little bit.
Well, you pick on everyone, to be fair.
Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate that. We won't talk about your skinny jeans. They were talking about you wore to the game last week on the sideline, so we won't mention that.
Okay, we'll get to that later then.
The next one here, that we're going to get to. Brand he buys some time, works until Jay Schuler gets open, delivers the ball to Jay. We have a little play action here, and the tight copy really can show you. Play action comes from the left. He buys a little time, waits till Jay clears, completes it to him for a touchdown. It's another good touchdown pass by Brant where he does some good things under pressure, keeps cool, and makes a play there for us. Then the last play here, this will be Terry Patterson with a tackle for a loss. And we were talking about earlier, this might not be the best highlight you ever actually see, but when you face a team like this that tries to play power football, to see a guy right here at the right side of the center, does what he's supposed to do, comes down, makes a play, a tackle for a loss, that puts that type of offense in a long yardage situation. That's what you try to accomplish from a defensive perspective.
All right, so I have to get this question out of the way because I didn't see it on the highlights. But 4th and 59, one of the weirdest drives I've ever seen in football, and it ended with a fake punt there. Could you kind of talk about that entire drive and what went through your mind as it ended too?
First off, they're called our highlights, so we're not going to put a 59-yard touchdown fake punt by them on our highlights, but. It was a unique situation. If I remember correctly, it was we throw a pick. The defensive end makes a great play. It's 1st and 10 from the 14 yards line going in to score. At that point, it's a 4th down play, which we're not actually sure if they got the first down was spotted, but they throw a flag afterwards for a dead ball penalty. So they call it a 1st down. Then they back up a 54-yard line and put it on the 14. Call it 1st and goal, which at that point I was a little confused on the math. They did that, and then they had a series of penalties, to which I didn't know until afterwards. Coach Hall from Fuquay, great guy. Obviously, we want to beat Fuquay every time we play him, but he's one of those guys that, you know, he's a football coach, cares about his kids and wants to do the right things. Well, he came to me afterwards, and I said, what in the world were you thinking faking on 4th and 59? I said, I thought I was the craziest guy in the stadium. And he said, Coach, I didn't call it. And I couldn't believe when he said that to me. I thought he was joking. I kind of laughed and patted him on the back. He said, no. The play before that, when it was 3rd and 39, number 4 for them clips a guy on the pass play from behind. So they get the sack essentially and then a dead ball penalty beyond that. It makes it 4 and 59. He told the boy on that play, the next time the ball's in your hands, you better make a play for our team. Well, that same guy who had the penalty ends up being their punter. So he lines up at punter, and actually and he did apologize. They actually cut our outside guy, which is illegal on special teams. But the punter at that point takes it upon himself to fake a punt and actually scores on it. And I mean, it was one of those plays in football where, you know, things happen. I called a good friend of mine, and I said, okay, we played a conference opponent for the conference championship who's a rival school. We faked a field goal, we onside kicked, and they converted a 4th and 59 that started out as a 1st and 14 when it should have been 1st and 19 by a fake punt in which they scored, and there was 3 penalties on the play, and their coach told me their kid stepped out of bounds twice running down the sideline. So, you know, sometimes you have plays that are unusual. That's why it's football. You got to line up and play.
Once again, in this past week's game, we see that you're able to make a close game an easy win. Or you don't want to say any of the games are easy, but you pull away late in the 4th quarter due to special teams. Can you just talk about how this team is able to produce on all 3 phases of the ball?
Well, it's really kind of our mentality. You know, every time we get a chance to be on the field, it's a competitive play, and you want to win that play. We talk about it all the time going 1-0, and every play is an opportunity to go 1-0. Even if you lost the last one, it doesn't matter. Line up the next one and try to win. And it's been exciting. 2 years, essentially, this staff's kind of been together. You know, our guys have all bought into every play matters. And you have guys that maybe are number 2 on the depth chart and play 15 or 20 snaps, and you look over and you'll say, well, what are you doing? Coach, I want a chance to be on the kickoff team. You know, and I said, well, why? I can make a play and help our team out. Or another young man who I don't think played 1 down last year, and he told me this year going into the season that his goal was to make sure he started on 2 special teams. Yeah. You know, he didn't want to start on defense or offense. He wanted to start on special teams because he saw how important it was to us. And people kind of not criticize, but they ask a lot of times, what's your practice schedule? You have all these fakes in and other things you do, and we're one of the few teams, we said before, we don't practice offense and defense on Mondays. Right. It's all special team tryout and drills, and we can be in week, 16, I guess it is now, for practice, and every Monday we're going to line up and practice blocking punts. Go through the same steps on tight punt and spread punt and make sure we're always back to basics. Have a lot of fun playing special teams. Right.
So did Fuquay throw anything at you that you weren't prepared for, that you had not seen on film?
Yeah, all they did was change their complete offense from the 3 weeks prior. Other than that, everything we expected. They asked Austin when he's up here in a little bit, what we expected to see and they had shown on film was completely different than what we actually got most of the game, which we'll talk about obviously later, makes it unique for us. Are we going to see the original offense we thought, or are we going to see the one they had last week? And their scheme was a great scheme. It was a very good scheme, but it was obviously foreign to what we had seen in the previous couple of weeks.
Well, before we let you out of here the first time, you talked about it numerous times about, making sure this the senior class goes out 2 years in a row undefeated in conference. How much do you let them, celebrate that? Obviously, you got the playoffs coming on the schedule, but did you make a big deal out of this undefeated another undefeated conference season?
Well, we really celebrated. Coach Bordeaux took his sweatshirt off and showed them the championship T-shirts they got. We handed it to them, and then we told them the season's not done. That's why you have banquets, and that's why you have other things that go on. These seniors have to go through finding colleges, hopefully, some being recruited, excuse me, some going on and trying to find a job. There's a lot of things to celebrate with these guys. Football's not the biggest thing to celebrate. Hopefully it's their graduations and it's their opportunities to go to college. But we'll focus on that stuff when the season's done. Hopefully it's not 3 or 4 days away. Hopefully it's a couple weeks away, if not more.
Right. Well, Coach, thank you for joining us this time around. Once again, guys, you are watching the Middle Creek Coaches Show, broadcasting live from Ruckus Pizza. This is the Sports Block. We'll be right back.
The Ruckus Challenge. 24 inches of fresh cheese, sauce, and any toppings you want. You have 1 hour. Just you and the pizza. Think you can do it? Come out to Ruckus every Tuesday and find out. Can you handle it?
It is a ruckus. It's a good time. We've got live music 4 or 5 nights a week. And my favorite's the food, though.
Our menu is very varied. We have great hamburgers, great pizza, great pasta, great sandwiches, great salads. We're famous for our New York style pizza. It's a huge 24-inch pizza with just right amount of cheese and sauce. And
all right, enough about the big pizza. Seriously. I sometimes still get a little bit long-winded, and this is a perfect fit for taking care of that.
It's great pizza.
The Ruckus Challenge. 24 inches of fresh cheese, sauce, and any toppings you want. You have 1 hour. Just you and the pizza. Think you can do it? Come out to Ruckus every Tuesday and find out. Can you handle it?
It is a ruckus. It's a good time. We've got live music 4 or 5 nights a week. And my favorite's the food, though.
Our menu is very varied. We have great hamburgers, great pizza, great pasta, great sandwiches, great salads. We're famous for our New York style pizza. It's a huge 24-inch pizza with just right amount of cheese and sauce. And
all right, enough about the big pizza. Seriously. I sometimes still get a little bit long-winded, and this is a perfect fit for taking care of that.
It's great pizza.
Welcome back to the Middle Creek Coaches Show. This is the Sports Block live from Ruckus Pizza in Cary. And we are now joined by JV head coach Jeff Ryder. Coach, thank you for joining us on the Sports Block again. We had you on earlier this season. So could you just tell us where the JV team is at now, how this season ended up for you guys?
Well, we ended up 8-1.
Nice.
We entered the last game last Thursday night undefeated, and unfortunately we had some bad coaching, and we didn't come out on top on that one. But if you had asked me before the season began, with the kids we had coming back, plus all the new kids we had, we would have been in that position on Thursday night. I would have doubted it.
Yeah,
Well,
it's a solid season.
8-1 after you got coach over here taking half your team over the course of the season.
Yeah, exactly.
Not too bad, right?
Well, we're going to work that out after this year. No, exactly. We understand varsity takes precedence, and if they need a kid, then he's got to go. That's a tribute to him. And I know we had, I think, 3 that got significant time on Friday nights, and sure, we'd love to have them on Thursday, but good job by those guys.
Right.
So in what areas specifically did this team kind of pleasantly surprise you?
Well, I told them week after week that very thing, that they never cease to surprise me, whether it be in the kicking game, special teams, which we work side by side with the varsity. When they're doing something, we're on the other end of the field doing exactly the same thing. We lost an absolute ton of guys from the AV team on defense. That was a big concern going into this year, and I figured it up tonight. Our defense gave up 7.1 points per contest, so that puts you in a good position every week.
Absolutely.
Following the varsity's trend of defense.
Yeah, Coach Castellano has done a good job coming in here and teaching us how to play defense around here. We're not just a bunch of offensive guys throwing the ball around.
Or special team.
That's right. That's right.
So I mean, moving to the varsity, obviously, your job doesn't end on Thursdays. What did you think on the effort on Friday night?
I thought that Fuquay is going to do what Fuquay does. They try to dictate, and I thought, as we are every week, our guys were well prepared. They made some adjustments prior to the game that I would say were a little bit of a surprise to us. But I thought we overcame that, and we came out in the second half with some adjustments of our own, and I think it was a solid victory for us.
Right.
So going into the off season, what is this JV team going to look like next year, and what kind of things are they going to have to work on?
Well, we're going to I think the main thing that we try to do is the guys that we have, get them in the weight room, and the biggest difference I see from Thursday to Friday night play is their strength. We've been blessed with some tremendous athletes that come to Middle Creek, and we have a really good relationship with Westlake Middle, who's been on the show this year, and we know who's coming, and we just got to keep them in the weight room. We got to keep reaching out to our middle schools and just developing the talent that comes to us.
Well, you mentioned that you kind of have an idea of the talent that's kind of coming through your program next year. Is there anything that you can kind of bank on or kind of look forward to next season?
Well, we played 4 quarterbacks this year. 2 of those were incoming freshmen. We started out the season with 6 quarterbacks in the rotation.
Wow.
4 of those 6 were freshmen, and some of them we moved. So, we think we have a good nucleus going into next season for offense and defense. I checked it before I came here tonight, and more than half of the guys that we played this year with significant time were freshmen.
Right.
So I think that bodes well for us going into next year.
Well, before we let you get out of here, you mentioned obviously we're gonna play this team we played on Friday again. This team has come out and shown you multiple looks. How do you prepare for a team? We've talked with Coach. He prepared for one team and they come out and show you something different. How do you prepare for a team that has given you multiple looks throughout the course of the season?
Well, it's funny you asked me that question. I was just over there talking to Coach Bordeaux prior to coming up here, and I asked him that. I was like, what do you think they're going to do differently? And, I don't know if we can answer that. I think what we're going to do is continue to practice what we do well offensively and defensively, and we want to dictate the game. We don't want to get dictated to. So I think that's the approach we're going to take.
Okay. Well, Coach, always a pleasure having you on the show. We hope to see you again. Absolutely. Once again, guys, you are watching the Middle Creek Coaches Show, broadcasting live from Ruckus Pizza. This is the Sports Block. We'll be right back.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate y'all having me.
The Ruckus Challenge. 24 inches of fresh cheese, sauce, and any toppings you want. You have 1 hour. Just you and the pizza. Think you can do it? Come out to Ruckus every Tuesday and find out. Can you handle it?
It is a ruckus. It's a good time. We've got live music 4 or 5 nights a week. And
My favorite's the food, though. Our menu is very varied. We have great hamburgers, great pizza, great pasta, great sandwiches, great salads. We're famous for our New York style pizza. It's a huge 24-inch pizza with just right on the cheese and sauce. And
all right, enough about the big pizza. Seriously, I sometimes still get a little bit long-winded, and this is a perfect fit for taking.
It's great pizza.
Welcome back to the Middle Creek Coaches Show. This is the Sports Block live from Ruckus Pizza in Cary. And we are now joined by junior linebacker Austin Ludwig.
Some of the few people that are here.
Yeah, we appreciate that. Austin, thank you for joining us tonight. If you could start off by telling everyone a little bit about yourself and how the season's gone for you so far.
Oh yeah, thank you for having me very much. And I am a junior here at Middle Creek, and I play inside linebacker, as you said. And this past game, I played long snapper because our starting line snapper Tom was out. And I've been playing football for a while now, since I was 10, and that's basically it.
Cool. So, long snapping always struck me as something that would be really difficult, especially in the heat of a game. And I'd imagine replacing someone too and getting out there had to be pretty difficult.
It wasn't that bad. I mean, you just got to focus on what your assignment, you know what I mean? Just throwing your hands through, getting the ball back there, and then that's the biggest part about it. So once you get the ball back there, it's not a big deal. So.
Well, you got to give yourself a little credit because this isn't just a regular special teams. I mean, you might be able to, carry the ball some of these times.
Yeah, there's a couple plays. They have one play designed for me to go out on a pass. So
hey, there you go.
That's pretty exciting.
So you got, your coaches are telling you cut it, giving out the playbook. So you're obviously a linebacker, also linebacker first. So just can you speak a little bit about what this defense has been able to do throughout the course of the season?
Our defense has been doing a really good job of running the ball, playing physical, executing their assignments, reading their keys. So that's really what we focus on every day. Creating turnovers is big too. We do a lot of that, and I take pride in being a linebacker, and it's a lot of fun.
Absolutely. We talk almost every show about the depth at linebacker. So how is it? Are you guys close? Is it nice to have so many guys?
Oh yeah. Honestly, I feel like that our little linebacking core it's like my family to me. We go through practice in and out every day, hitting each other all the time, talking to each other. It's a family for real.
I mean, you obviously have a lot of competition now. Obviously, it doesn't sound like that brings a lot of clashing the heads. So it's bringing you guys together. The competition.
Oh yeah, the competition. It's pretty friendly competition. I mean, you always got to go as hard as you can, and just we all stay friends through it.
Yeah.
So we know you're only a junior, but do you have any plans for the future after Middle Creek?
Well, I was hoping to go to Duke University and study medicine later in life. So
right on.
Goes past football. You said med school, right?
Oh yeah.
Oof. All right. So if you just want to talk a little bit about Friday and what you guys are able to accomplish, obviously the second year in a row, win it, going undefeated. What were you guys able to do on Friday to secure that second season?
Oh well, playing Fuqua is always a big week. Rivals and everything. So we just came in. We were well prepared. Coach got us well prepared. We saw a little bit different in the offense with their more unbalanced looks, but nothing we couldn't adjust to. So we did a good job reading our keys, especially because in that offense is a big thing you got to do. So got to the football. Defense just played great, and offense did their part. It was a nice win.
Well, lastly, this upcoming game is, obviously a different one. I mean, you're going into the playoffs. I mean, what is the locker room like getting ready for this first round?
Well, locker room is definitely a lot more quiet, to be honest. It's game time. You know what I'm saying? Because it's win or go home this week. So there's no messing around in the locker room. I mean, obviously there's a little playing around, but we're all serious, locked in for this week.
Yeah, it's good to hear. Well, good luck on Friday, and hopefully we'll get to talk to you again.
Oh, thank you very much, sir.
All right, once again, guys, we were watching the Middle Creek Coaches Show, broadcasting live from Ruckus Pizza. This is the Sports Block. We'll be right back.
The Ruckus Challenge. 24 inches of fresh cheese, sauce, and any toppings you want. You have 1 hour. Just you and the pizza. Think you can do it? Come out to Ruckus every Tuesday and find out. Can you handle it?
It is a ruckus. It's a good time. We've got live music 4 or 5 nights a week. And
My favorite's the food, though. Our menu is very varied. We have great hamburgers, great pizza, great pasta, great sandwiches, great salads. We're famous for our New York style pizza. It's a huge 24-inch pizza with just right amount of cheese and sauce. And
all right, enough about the big pizza. Seriously, I sometimes still get a little bit long-winded, and this is a perfect fit for taking care of that.
It's great pizza.
The Ruckus Challenge. 24 inches of fresh cheese, sauce, and any toppings you want. You have 1 hour. Just you and the pizza. Think you can do it? Come out to Ruckus every Tuesday and find out. Can you handle it?
She's about to...
Welcome back to the Middle Creek Coaches Show. This is the Sports Block live from Ruckus Pizza in Cary. We are now joined by head lacrosse coach Paul Robison. Coach, thank you,
Ryan.
Thank you for joining us.
It seems like you got one supporter out there.
In the original rundown we got texted, we were going to talk to Santa Claus before you, actually. So some of our questions might not make sense, but
Okay.
What's your stance on cookies?
I
Four,
like 'em.
right? Yeah.
They're good.
Anyways, could you just start off by telling everyone a little about yourself and the lacrosse team?
Well, I am a lacrosse coach at Middle Creek, also a teacher, and have a wife and beautiful baby daughter at home, and just enjoying the community at Middle Creek and working with my colleagues and the students.
Oh, going into a lacrosse season, can you just kind of give us your whole, coaching philosophy, your whole coaching background when it comes to the sport of lacrosse?
Well, coming into the season, I'm always a proponent of transition, and we try to play up-tempo in lacrosse. We really try to move the ball around and make it exciting for the kids to play on.
Right.
Score a lot of goals and hopefully get some fans in the building and for them to enjoy it.
Yeah. So lacrosse is kind of still a sport that's really growing in this area. Can you talk about the growth that you've seen over the years?
Yeah, when I got here, it was interesting being from up north. Sorry about that. Being from up north, the growth is it's quite different. The skill levels a little lower, and it's just exciting to actually step in somewhere where you can make a difference, where it's not so not so big, and to really be able to grow a program into a powerhouse, hopefully.
Well, you mentioned you're kind of in a state of transition. What type of things are you doing now to get ready for the season?
Well, we're in the dead period, so not much of anything except for weight training and running and all the boring stuff that kids love.
So for some people who aren't familiar with lacrosse, I mean, can you tell us some things that are a part of the game? I know physicality is the first time I watched a lacrosse game, I love the physicality of it.
Yeah, a lot of kids get misconstrued about the physicality because it is a little different from football. You can't just take someone's head off. It's more finesse with with a physical element to it. So there certainly is the physicality, but it's not. You're not going for someone's head. You're more worried about the ball and about spacing and angles, and it's a little different. And that's the biggest thing coming down here is to try to groom some of the football kids into how to play lacrosse and not just try to take people out and concuss people.
Well, I mean, hopefully it's not too soon, but is there anything that you can say for definite that this team will have come season or the finished product?
Well, I think that we will be young and we will be fast and exciting. We have a lot of talent. This is probably one of our best groups coming through as far as stick skills, IQ. But we are young, so it's yet to be determined, but I think it'll be an exciting year.
Now, how often, before we let you go, I mean, you have the lacrosse season and the football season kind of go, they're on, you're off. How much are you going to these football games and trying to kind of scouting and see how much you can kind of rub elbows with coach and see how many players you can get on your team?
Well, I talk to coach every day about it. It's great that since coach has been here, he's really taken a school approach to it and what's best for the school, and he's really open to kids playing dual sports, as am I, and we just try to work together. And if kids are interested, we have an open door, and try to get some of our kids to go his way as well.
All right. Well, Coach, good luck on your season, and
thank you, Ryan.
Hopefully we get to talk to you again.
Thank you, Ryan.
Thank you.
Once again, guys, you're watching the Middle Creek Coaches Show, broadcasting live from Ruckus Pizza. This is a Sports Block. We'll be right back.
The Ruckus Challenge. 24 inches of fresh cheese, sauce, and any toppings you want. You have 1 hour. Just you and the pizza. Think you can do it? Come out to Ruckus every Tuesday and find out. Can you handle it?
It is a ruckus. It's a good time. We've got live music 4 or 5 nights a week. And
My favorite's the food, though. Our menu is very varied. We have great hamburgers, great pizza, great pasta, great sandwiches, great salads. We're famous for our New York style pizza. It's a huge 24-inch pizza with just right amount of cheese and sauce. And
all right, enough about the big pizza. Seriously, I sometimes still get a little bit long-winded, and this is a perfect fit for taking care of that.
It's great pizza.
Welcome back to the Middle Creek Coaches Show. This is a Sports Block live from Ruckus Pizza in Cary. And we are now joined by senior lacrosse player Justin Medwar. Justin, thank you for joining us tonight. Yeah, so we just talked to your head coach. So could you just tell us a little bit about yourself and then going into this season, what we're looking at?
Yeah, I'm a senior at Middle Creek High School, and I've been on the lacrosse team for 4 years, on the varsity team for 4 years now, and been playing lacrosse for about 5 years. So.
Yeah, so you have a good perspective on kind of the growth of lacrosse and then the growth of the Middle Creek lacrosse, team and organization. So, what are things looking like right now?
I think things are looking great this year, and we have a lot of great players this year, and I'm really excited about the team. So it should be a good year.
Well, your coach said a few things about how you guys are going to play. I mean, is there, what can you expect when you guys step on the field?
I just hope that everybody will be prepared for the season, and when we actually get out there to play in this year, that we'll do great, and we'll do great this year.
Yeah. So what kind of things have you been working on personally in your game going into this year?
Well, we've been doing the workouts. It is the dead period, but we have been doing the workouts for like the weight room and running. But personally, I've been working a lot on my game and just working around in my house and shooting around and working on my stick skills.
When obviously you guys get out of this dead period, what type of stuff does coach usually bring to those practices? And how do you guys build that team unity?
We practice a lot on. We'll do our offensive work and our defensive work, and just work hard during right before the season, and hopefully everything will be good.
So you're a senior, moving on from Middle Creek next year. Do you have any plans for the future?
Yes, I actually plan to play lacrosse for Lynchburg in college.
Oh, right on.
Now, one of the most vicious hits I've ever seen. I was actually, broadcasting a sports block show when I was in high school, and I had lost complete composure on air. Now,
That never happens.
It never happens. Ever. Lost complete composure. Lost where I was. Have you ever been on the receiving end or, the giving end of one of those hits?
I mean, both, because lacrosse is a little different, just like every other sport. Sometimes you don't see the hits coming. So, but yeah, it is a vicious sport, just because people see that you can whack other people with lacrosse sticks. So.
That's where the football players come in, right?
Yeah.
Now, before we let you go, is there any team goals that you guys have this upcoming season? Obviously, you guys want to be competitive and be quick and stuff like that. What do you expect season-wise?
No, I definitely think we can win the conference this year and hopefully go far in the playoffs. So.
All right, well, it was good talking to you, and good luck on your season.
Right,
Once again, guys, you are watching the Middle Creek Coaches Show, broadcasting live from Ruckus Pizza. This is the Sports Block. We'll be right back.
The Ruckus Challenge. 24 inches of fresh cheese, sauce, and any toppings you want. You have 1 hour. Just you and the pizza. Think you can do it? Come out to Ruckus every Tuesday and find out. Can you handle it?
It is a ruckus. It's a good time. We've got live music 4 or 5 nights a week. And
My favorite's the food, though. Our menu is very varied. We have great hamburgers, great pizza, great pasta, great sandwiches, great salads. We're famous for our New York style pizza. It's a huge 24-inch pizza with just right on the cheese and sauce. And
all right, enough about
crust.
the big pizza. Seriously, I sometimes still get a little bit long-winded, and this is a perfect fit for taking care of that.
It's great pizza.
Welcome back to the Middle Creek Coaches Show. This is the Sports Block live from Ruckus Pizza in Cary. And we are now into our final segment of the night with head coach Mike Castellano again. The Mustangs head into this Friday, the first round of the playoffs, as a number 2 seed. And it'll be deja vu as we take on Fuquay again. Coach, first of all, do you have any sweatpants you want to loan me? I know you're uncomfortable with anything but sweatpants on the sideline, so I'll go with the Coach Castellano clothing line if that's
we
what you
expect
want.
you to dress appropriately, representing our program, being part of this show.
It's all about style. It's all about style.
Stay away from
Coach.
the skinny pants and the blonde comb over.
You can't teach style, Coach. It's like speed,
Okay, I appreciate that. Speaking of style, one thing about Austin when he was up here earlier, also about going to Duke Med School and all that stuff, he's the number 1 ranked student in his class. So he's a young man who plays a sport, does that very well, and also is the number 1, again, student in his class. So there's a lot to be said for him and what he's accomplished. But no, when you come to the game, we appreciate your support.
Yeah, absolutely.
We appreciate you being there. And obviously we're playing Fuquay again. If we can get Austin, because he is very smart, not to memorize the playbook and come up here and start telling people some of the things we do, we'd appreciate it.
He's only a junior, Coach. He'll get there.
Yeah, he already has it memorized. He's very smart. We just need to come up here and talk about some of the things we do. But no, we look forward to playing Fuquay again. It doesn't matter who you play. You have to play who they tell you. So we're lucky to be in the playoffs, have an opportunity to play them. It's going to be a rival game. Nobody's going to be scared of each other. Both teams will come out and be a very physical game. It at home. We do think our home field advantage is a great thing for us. If we can just execute better than they can and make some plays, hopefully, we get a chance to play another week.
I asked Coach Ryder when he was up here about them switching styles on you. How do you prepare for a team that's giving you different looks that you've seen on film?
Well, we're actually going into the 3rd week. We have not run any of our base defenses from that standpoint because we have faced, obviously, Cary was very unique. We faced Fuquay, who is different than what we normally see, and now we face them again. So it's actually been 3 different offenses from what we paired for Fuquay, what we saw from Fuquay, what Cary gave us, and what we've seen the entire year. So at this point, you hope they can't go too far off the grid in that aspect. A lot of teams defensively are kind of what they are. We guess right on what we're going to see from them. We have a couple games now, being ours and a couple others, where you see teams with similar styles of offense. You just hope you're more prepared and hope the kids execute more than anything, and we don't screw it up too much as coaches.
Right.
So when you go into the playoffs and you have a bracket and you can kind of look at the possibilities. I know you don't look at it, but do you as a coach have to tell your players not to worry about any of the possibilities of future games, or do they already know that?
Well, all we talked about at this point is, we're into the third season. The first one's non-conference, the second one's our conference, and now we're in the third one. The beautiful part about this one is there's no tomorrow. It's you win, you keep going, or you don't. And at this point, there's no point in looking at any other team you could play or this round or that round. If you don't win on Friday, none of that matters. You're buying a ticket to go watch some week.
Yeah.
That's what we kind of talked about. People want to say things and get on Twitter. Who cares? They're either coming to play you or they're buying a ticket to come watch you play. So you're lucky, hopefully, to keep being able to get the free tickets and get your folks come out and watch you play. And that's all our goal is, just try to win.
Now you've talked about this 3-season idea all since we began this. When you make that transition to the third season, does that change how you approach a week? Obviously, you have the 1 week mentality where next week isn't guaranteed. What differences do you make within the locker room?
Well, hopefully none. Hopefully you always prepare the same way throughout the year. If you really concentrate on going 1-0, then nothing else matters.
Right.
And I think it's a great mentality. We're all brilliant coaches. We steal from each other. And somebody said that one time years ago, and I thought it was a phenomenal idea. Who cares about next week or the previous week? None of those matter. Mm-hmm. So if we continue to keep that mentality and actually believe in it, it should be an easy transition when it comes playoff time.
Right. Any special words that I saw on your piece of paper that you've had you've had different quotes from different coaches. What's your perfect motivation speech when you're going out there on Friday night?
I really honestly have never prepared one. And maybe one of the funniest things, I'll admit it now, is a couple weeks ago, we were at halftime. We weren't playing very well. And somehow, some way, I started talking and I quoted a movie and didn't realize it. I don't know if somebody was on the headset with me, but I went, "Oh my gosh, that was from A Time to Kill." And I forgot who we were playing. And the boys could probably tell you. And I said, "Would we be playing with that passion if that was Garner?" Mm-hmm. And it kind of went to the whole Time to Kill scene. We're talking about reenacting the bad accident that happened in the movie. And I went, "Holy cow!" But I don't prepare it, to be honest with you. I'm more or less concerned about seeing how our guys are and how they're kind of respecting the moment. Or how they're preparing themselves. And more times than not, there's things that people say or give to you or email to you that a lot of times focus on it. We were pretty convinced by all the tiebreakers that we had saw that if we won, we were the number 1 seed. Right. So first thing we said to the boys were, well, obviously they didn't respect us too much, and they went to a different tiebreaker that wasn't the initial rule.
Right.
And so at that point, that's pretty much a motivator for us. People don't think we're good enough to be a 1 seed. Well, hopefully Friday we can go out and prove them wrong.
Well, Coach, good luck on Friday. It goes without saying that, us up here and all those people out there are rooting for you guys, and hopefully you guys come out on top.
Well, I appreciate that, and thank you. I know it's bad weather. We've got some snow and ice and sleet and all that kind of stuff, so I do appreciate the ones who came out here and made it out tonight regardless of the weather.
I think it was the Christmas tree.
The upside-down Christmas tree.
Yeah, that or your hat. So either one attracts a lot of people. But we appreciate the guys who made it out tonight and look forward to seeing everybody on Friday.
All right, thanks again, Coach. Guys, you are watching the Middle Creek Coaches Show, broadcasting live from Ruckus Pizza. We'll see you next time.